Yes, we have Mr. Muyiwa Sobo here with us, a legal practitioner, to look at a number of issues playing out, including the one we just saw in the report. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, and good morning.
Well, that certainly raised a lot of concern, seeing those amounts of arms in a country, not once, not twice, so far, thrice. And then people just wonder, look, what exactly is going on? But you've seen the processes. The customs say they've done what they have to do and then handed over to the next stage, which is the DSS. But can you ever connect the dots with this in terms of why will we ever see this, maybe more arms coming in or what?
Well, it should concern all of us. We should be concerned about these arms coming into the country. And I think we should give credit to the customs as well for doing a good job in actually apprehending and seizing these arms. We have to give them some credit for it. And now they have passed the investigation to the DSS. DSS, I want to believe, is continuing investigation in this. And we just have to be patient and allow it to do its work in investigation.
But people say, yes, they can do their work, but at the end, which is where you're going, we always like to see what's the outcome.
Well, the outcome is an outcome. It's futuristic. We have to wait for what the outcome is.
Forever?
Of course. Well, you cannot. When it comes to this type of investigation, we're talking about arms now. We're talking about dangerous arms. I mean, assault rifles and things like that. We have to be patient.
Pardon me to jump in here.
Yes.
You've been, in different parts of the world. Yeah. You've seen how some of these investigations go on, including more serious ones. And you've seen how there's almost a regular briefing about what's going on. But we don't see it here.
Well, if we need to be briefed, let's be briefed. That way we can ask for that. But remember, we were talking when the DSS went and kicked down people's doors and they're prosecuting cases on the pages of the newspaper. I was one of those who opposed that and said we have to conduct investigation in such a way as not with a focus on getting results. And once you go public on certain information, you're going to impeach that focus, that result that you're looking for.
No, but
in this regard now, in this regard, you're talking about a serious issue of importation of illegal importation of arms, dangerous arms.
Are you satisfied with the previous seizures, one in January, one in March, and the results of the investigation? Are you satisfied with them?
Well, first let's look at it. There are two aspects to it. The seizure. If the custom did not seize this, we wouldn't even know about it. So they must have done something, a good job in apprehending the inflow of the arms. Then, who are bringing these arms into the country? They have passed that on to the information to DSS. DSS must be given adequate time to investigate. So we'll have a proper information and prosecution of the matter. It concerns me. It should concern all of us that dangerous arms are flowing into the country. But we should recognize the fact that the customs did a good job in apprehending those arms before they get into the hands of criminals or who will use those weapons to do us harm.
But the first case was 440 weapons brought in. The second one was 661. This is 1,100. Does this give you a sense that there are no guarantees that more have not even infiltrated through?
Yeah, we can't tell. It could have been filtering through the borders, through the seas, through open seas, and so on and so forth. Yes, there's recognition about that. But the fact that the customs were able to apprehend the little that they were able to, I mean, that's a lot of arms removed from people who may want to do us harm. And second, DSS has come out to say, we are investigating this. We should give them time. I'm not saying we have to wait forever, and I don't think it's going to take forever. And we can keep on pushing for them to do their job quickly. But I think it's proper to give them time to investigate. It's a very serious thing.
What do they need to be more effective, do you think, especially at the ports?
Well, at the ports, I don't know what they will need to be more effective. But I think it's a credible indication of effectiveness if they are able to apprehend this amount of arms in the first instance. I think we should recognize that. And even though the investigation is taking a long time, to some people, we at least know that these arms have been seized. They are not going to get into the hands of those who will use them to hurt us. Two, if the DSS is conducting an investigation, we should allow the DSS in this instance to do its job and do it properly without putting unnecessary pressure on them and going into the pages of newspaper and prosecuting this on the pages of newspaper or news. Let them do their job. They will, at the end of the day, come up. I mean, if there are prosecution to be done, if people are to be apprehended, we'll know at the end of the day, and I think we should give them that time.
What's your expectation, though? Because when we had the first seizure in January, and then we had the second one in March, and now we're having this one, what are your expectations on the lines of the relationship with the source country that's in Turkey? What must we do to be able to address this concern?
Now, that goes into the foreign affairs and the job of the federal government. We have to impress it on that country that the fact that these arms are coming from that country gives us a lot of concern. I mean, diplomatically, we have to deal with that. If we have to call conferences, we have to raise alarms throughout the world. I mean, think about it. If Turkey is the source of these arms, I mean, they cannot mean well for us.
What
if
about
they're not cooperating with us?
What about that part where
it from the source?
There are those who have also asked questions as to if they're able to tell us this is the third one, then they have to begin to arrest whoever brings in the vessels. And then there are those who say, well, if you spoke that much, why don't you just go ahead and tell us, okay, what name is on that manifest of the persons who brought it? So they thought they're giving us half information so far.
Yeah, but they probably have those. I mean, they have the manifest. Let me tell you something. If you're going to import arms illegally, you're not gonna say I have arms. If I say
because especially when they see this timeline,
I know. I mean,
they look at the first, the second, the third.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Maybe the first discovery put them on notice that more may be coming, and they put in the apparatus in there to stop more that may be coming, and they've had a couple of seizures after that, which is okay, but. This sort of investigation is not that simple. It's very complex. One, because if you're going to go steal something, you're not going to send notice and say, I'm coming to your house to steal stuff. I mean, that will put us on notice. They will disguise, as seen, they will disguise these arms to be something else. Now, even if they get the manifest, they get the information on who is importing, they still have to investigate. And if they come to the public and say, well, Mr. X is the one importing these, then they may impeach or affect their investigation